On this episode of Main Street Magic, we're talking about why we leave the kids at home once a year for our Disney World vacation. This is episode 63 of the Main Street Magic podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and I am again joined by my wife, Rhonda.
Hi guys, what's up?
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com and like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at mainstmagic. And now that we're a part of the Capture the Magic network, make sure you visit them at ctmpodcast.com, as well as subscribe to their feed, which includes all new shows every Monday and Thursday, as well as my other show, The Diz Dudes, that I co-host with Jared on Wednesdays, and that is on the exact same Capture the Magic channel right now. And coming up very soon, we'll be providing a ton of new vlogs and footage to the Capture the Magic YouTube page. So you'll want to go check that out and subscribe on YouTube as well. Just as a start off, if you go back and listen to episode 48, which was titled Adult Only Disney, and episode 49, which was called Disney Date Night, you'll hear our thoughts on, first, why you would go to Disney as more of a group without your children and leave them at home, or how you would do your ultimate Disney date night. If maybe you and the whole family with the kids are at Disney, you put them in one of the kids clubs, which will soon be extinct, but it looks like some new options are coming up, or you have, a family member to watch them. We talk about all the things that we think are perfect for that Disney date night. Now, this episode's going to be a little bit different than those two, so I don't want you to think we're just trying to rehash something we already did. But coming up here, it'll be less than 2 weeks now. Rhonda and I will be going to Disney World for our anniversary. And this will be our third year, correct? Doing this without the kids? Yeah, because we celebrated our 10th year. And then last year was our 11th. This is our 12th. So this will actually be our third time. And my parents come down and they stay at our house for the weekend. They watch the kids, get them, off the bus and to school as they need to. And then they have them for the weekend so that we can go and enjoy Disney for our anniversary without kids at all for an entire weekend. And this is kind of part of what we want to talk about. First of all, why would you choose? Well, I don't even know if you did choose to go to Disney for our anniversary. It might have been me. But why would you choose Disney over other places? Because I get that asked. I've had friends say, "What are you doing for your anniversary?" I say, "We're going to Disney," and they're dumbfounded. Why? Why would you go to Disney without your kids? Just a quick elevator pitch. What's one reason that we do this?
Well, first of all, I will unfortunately be 39 years old this year.
Whew, man.
But I don't feel it, and
you don't look it.
Oh, thank you, honey. And it just, I don't have to, I can act like I'm 7 when I'm there. I don't have to be an adult. And I am adult so much that I enjoy not being one. So that is why I would pick to go there.
Whereas I never act like an adult. So
That's
it's just
true.
A continuation of my normal behavior down there. But we love it. And I think it's a very different trip. And
100%.
We're going to talk about this. You get to experience, first of all, you get to experience the same things differently. But you can also experience things that you just flat out can't when you have your kids with you. So let's talk first about hotel. And again, we went over this during the adult only Disney episode, which was 48. So make sure you check that out. But this coming from a anniversary trip, just say, what would be your ultimate go-to hotel let's just say money's not even an option.
Well, we haven't stayed at Poly, but I would say Poly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably say anywhere on the monorail loop. We've stayed everywhere else. Definitely Wilderness Lodge is our favorite. I would totally stay there without kids.
That would be cool.
Animal Kingdom. But yeah, those would be my top.
Yeah.
Under that, not really.
I think the boardwalk area would be really, really good. So either yacht, beach, or boardwalk. And
Yeah.
I
Don't forget Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, but I think all of them have more of a, and I'm not going to say adult only type atmosphere, but more of a romantic type atmosphere.
Well, and then you have the boardwalk where at night you can walk and you can take drinks all around there too.
Right.
You can walk out of your hotel with a drink if you want.
And being close to World Showcase within walking distance, which we'll get into about,
and a lot of that, all that is boring for the kids. And that's why in other episodes, and I don't know the number right off the top of my head, but that's why we've talked about when we do World Showcase, you get the scavenger hunt because of the kids get bored.
Yep. And you can't blame them.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I would say if I had to go moderate, I think Port Orleans Riverside is perfect for
we've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we did last year. No, we haven't stayed in the Royal Rooms yet at Riverside, but we're going to in July. So that'll be interesting because I think the outside and the atmosphere of Riverside lends very well to a romantic setting. But the room, not so much. Because if you remember the room, like, the dressers were made out of what looked like old wood crates. And, the furniture was kind of made out of, like, sticks and twigs, I guess, for, lack of better terms. But, so I don't know that the inside lends that well, but the outside certainly does. Mm-hmm. And then, oddly enough, remember where we stayed for our 10th anniversary? Need me to remind you of your knee and the biking incident?
Oh, actually Fort Wilderness, but we were camping and
camper, and
I'm not really good on a bike at all.
No, it was really cool because we got to do two things. One was we got to experience Disney. That was the first time we really did Disney without the kids.
Yes.
Since we've had them.
Right.
We did prior, obviously.
Right.
But we never camp without the kids. Anytime we go camping, it's always with the kids, and that was a really cool way to do it, to actually camp and just the two of us. So we got to camp and be at Disney without the kids, which were, two things we got to do right away for the first time, which was awesome. Okay, so let's talk favorite parks or favorite rides. All right, now we're gonna have an opportunity to hit a lot while we're there because we're actually going Thursday through Sunday. We'll actually be at Animal Kingdom for the 20th anniversary on April 22nd, which is our actual 12th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be cool. I want to say Saturday while we're there, we have Magic Kingdom we're going to go to.
Yeah, because then that's the dessert party night.
Yeah. Friday, we're going to hit the dessert party, the Star Wars Galactic dessert party Saturday night, which means we're hitting Hollywood Studios. Friday, we're going to do Epcot because we're doing the Dark Side 5K that morning, which is at Epcot. And then we're going to potentially stick around or just come back to Epcot. And then Thursday, we're talking about doing Blizzard Beach when we first get there.
Right.
But let's just say a normal couple who maybe goes for their anniversary, they get in Friday afternoon, and then they're going to do a park Saturday and Sunday. If you could only pick two parks, which ones would you do? And on which Saturday, you're going home on Sunday night, just say, which would you do as far as Saturday's park and Sunday's park?
I would probably do Epcot on Saturday.
Yeah.
So you can drink around the world or whatever, enjoy yourself. And then I don't know.
We're saying in general, not the, let's forget the 20th anniversary of Animal Kingdom.
Oh, right. But I was just thinking, like, God, I don't know if I'd pick Magic or I'd pick Animal because Animal with the Flight of Passage and I don't know. I guess Magic because it's.
I think I would too.
Yeah. Magic?
Yep. I would do Magic Sunday for two reasons. One, I don't know why. Maybe it's just Cinderella's Castle, but Magic Kingdom to me is almost the most romantic park, shall I say?
Oh.
But also, oddly enough, they don't serve alcohol.
Right.
So
which
you don't
if
even
you're
have
driving
to worry,
home,
right? You don't even have to worry about getting into a situation where you're thinking, oh, you know what? It's noon. Why don't I, get a Dole Whip with rum or something? Or why don't I get a nice mojito, which we've done before at Animal Kingdom? You just don't have to worry about it. But I do think Magic Kingdom to me is almost the most like classic and romantic, obviously. And I agree completely on Saturday at Epcot because of the fact you can drink around the world, you can enjoy yourself, especially if you're staying at one of those boardwalk area hotels.
Right.
I mean, you're set as far as that goes.
And if those are the only parks you can do when you get there Friday, and if you're able to get there like Friday afternoon, Disney Springs is a great Friday night date night without kids.
Yeah.
Just with what they have to offer. And again, kids being bored, there's more shopping and, just eating and drinking at Disney Springs.
Oh, and yeah, I mean, and that's what we can talk about now, about why you would want to experience Disney without kids, the food. I mean,
because our kids don't eat.
Right, they don't eat a lot of different stuff. So let's just say we're going to do, and I think people who don't know Disney don't realize the quality of food that's there. They think theme parks, they're thinking burgers, fries, chicken tenders, greasy, fattening, just whatever food. But
it's way more than that.
Disney has some of the best food, world-renowned chefs, world-renowned restaurants. You have Iron Chef Morimoto has a restaurant at Disney Springs. Now, our kids happen to enjoy Morimoto, but let's go over somewhere you want to eat like the Boathouse. The Boathouse is really expensive. Now, I'm not saying the Boathouse doesn't maybe have chicken fingers on the menu.
I just started saying it's Disney.
But is that where you want to go and buy your kids chicken fingers when you're spending 20 to 30 or so on your own meal and you're spending 15 to 20 on appetizer?
Yeah, but let's face it, if you do want to take your kids and it is Disney, they will have stuff for your kids to eat.
And that is a perfect reason to have your kids at Disney and still eat at these nice restaurants.
Right.
Because you are going to be able to get something for them, which is a very good point. But I still think certain places we would go to at Disney to eat without our children. I mean,
absolutely.
Look at Epcot, and when there's a festival going on,
right.
Our kids won't eat anything from any of the booths. Now, Kayla will murder some spring rolls in China.
Right.
But
some of them they'll try. They see the picture and they want to try it.
But I think, and if you love food, if you're a foodie, if you even just eat food, Disney is such a great place, and I think you can experience more. Because, okay, here's the other thing. We can go to Boathouse, right? And we can take the kids, and we can get them chicken fingers, and they're going to be happy. But who else has eaten a meal with a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old? Raise your hand. Or a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, or 2 4-year-old, or whatever it is. Let's all be honest. Even if you're going to your local Applebee's, it's a very different experience if you get to do it as adults.
Absolutely.
Now, I know for us, first of all, the conversation can be better because we just get to talk freely and we don't have to turn around every second and say, oh, eat that. Why aren't you eating? Oh, don't do that. No, you can't play on my phone. You get to do, I think, so much more. Now, we spend half the time talking about our children usually because we miss them. Don't think that we don't. But I think the food is such a great reason to go to Disney without your children. Another one is the shows. And just, again, please nobody think I'm cold-hearted. I love my kids more than anything. The other 11 months of the year, absolutely love having them at Disney. But do you know what I would give to watch Festival of the Lion King without a child sitting on my lap? I think that's different. And that's a normal show you would experience as a family with your kids, but it's also a show I think you can experience differently as an adult.
And then you got your paid shows.
Yep. Yeah. You have additional shows, like once the Cirque du Soleil comes back, whatever that's going to be. Now, we took the kids and they absolutely loved it. But you have to admit that still would have been a different night if it was just you and I.
Yeah.
With having a sort of date night anniversary style night. And then along with the shows are the add-ons. When we went for our 10th anniversary, I really, really wanted to take you, Rhonda, to Keys to the Kingdom tour. I was unaware and had not done my research that you better book that sucker as far in advance as you can. We did not get a chance to do it. However, we did last year for our 11th anniversary. You can't have kids during that tour.
Well, you can have children, but they have to be 16 and older.
Right, 16 and older. Or if you're there with them, you got to find somebody to watch them during a, 5-hour tour?
Yep.
So you're not going to have a kids club offer because we went at 9 a.m.
Right.
And we didn't have family with us, so there was nobody to watch them. So we were able to do that. And that, if you look at a lot of these tours, they do have age limits. And some may be for safety,
Right.
such as the Wild Africa Trek. That may be like a 16-year-old one as well. And then Keys of the Kingdom is simply because they do not want to ruin the magic for children. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of info that could totally ruin the magic for children or 39-year-old women.
It did not
I know,
ruin it for me.
Which was
I
nice.
was nervous.
Yeah. Well, so there's a lot of things you can experience in a different way. And when we were talking about the parks, like we didn't even talk yet about rides.
Right.
You know, right now, short of this last trip, only because my nephews were riding it, you know, Kaylin did ride Everest, but Kaylin and Lacey are both at a point right now, they don't want to ride Everest, which means you and I don't get to ride Everest when we're there with them.
Right.
If they do want to ride it, I'm sitting with one of them, you're sitting with the other. So you and I don't get to ride it together.
Right. And even on the smaller rides, sometimes they're like, I want to sit with mommy. I want to sit.
Right.
So,
I love being able to go and sit with you on something as simple as Haunted Mansion.
Right.
Which we've done a million times. But if I actually get to sit with you on it, it's just different.
Right.
So again, I think it's all, and none of this I think is better. I don't think Disney in any way is better without kids. I also don't think Disney's better with kids. I just think they're different.
Correct.
And they both have their own place and their own things that make them special.
Yes.
So,
there are some definitely good points though on.
One is not hearing, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm
I was just going to say that.
I want to go back to the hotel. You know, you get to be on your own pace. You get to kind of do your own thing, which I think is really cool. And then going back to the shows. Now, we have two, I'm just going to call them shows. They're add-ons coming up for our anniversary. Both of these are ones that we would happily do with our children, and we would want to. But cost comes into effect. So the Friday night that we're there, we're going to do the Spirit of Aloha Luau at Polynesian. Mm-hmm. I know the girls would love that. Again, I'm not letting them listen to this episode because I'm not letting them know that we went there because they'll be mad. But we were paying, I can't remember the price right now, but again, you're talking about, and Kaylin, remember, Kaylin's an adult now by Disney standards. She's 10, which means we're paying a full adult price for something like that. She's not going to get her money's worth on the food.
No.
She certainly would get her money's worth on the show, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But I think this is something we can experience on our own as a nice kind of romantic date. We bought, as lame and nerdy as it is, like matching outfits.
They weren't matching because they didn't have your size.
Right, but they're very similar. We got, Hawaiian kind of garb, I will say. That's Disney related and themed. Mm-hmm. We may go and do this and think, man, this is something we really want to bring the girls back to. And we take them back. Right? Saturday night, we're doing this Star Wars dessert party at Hollywood Studios. I know the kids would love it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely would love it. But at, like $80 a ticket.
And no discounts. At least the Luau has
Tables in
Wonderland discount. Just like the Hoop-Dee-Doo, and we did take the kids.
Right, and we did take it, and they loved it. But see, again, I would love to go back to Hoop-Dee-Doo with just you and I.
And you and I are also those date people that we're romantic in the sense, but you and I have so much fun together.
Yes.
So it's not that we're the ones, going to this fancy restaurant and spending all this money on food. And I mean,
which we have done and we do love.
Right. But I think we enjoy having fun together more. A lot of people might think a luau is not as romantic as when, you've got a dinner and show, which is great.
Like a boathouse or something where maybe you sit outside and it's.
But you've got a show. Right. But you've got a show that is great. But then I'm sure you're going to look around and there's going to be lots and lots of families and kids.
Yep.
But we have so much fun together.
Yeah. And we're not, and I'm not saying to go to boathouse and stuff, it means you're a fancy person, but we're not fancy people in the sense of, do I still own a suit? I don't even know if I do.
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know how many ties I have. Unfortunately, I have a suit in my closet still, which may or may not fit me for two reasons. One, hope, somebody gets married. Two, God forbid somebody dies. I mean, that's literally the only reason now because as of 3 years ago, I work from home.
I was going to say, I don't know if I'd call
own.
that unfortunately. You might call that fortunately in some people's opinions.
Well, we don't need to get into the fortunate or unfortunateness of
Wow.
passing, but no, you're right.
Well, I'm talking about owning suits.
Oh, of course.
Hundreds of
Yeah.
business. No, I'm talking
I
about.
thought you're talking about
No,
if I needed it
no.
because someone died. I was like, well,
No.
man. Okay.
Hundreds of
This
people
went
have to
down a
wear
different
suits
path.
all the
They do.
time. Every day to work.
Yeah. And I used to wear, there were plenty of times I used to wear a shirt and tie every day. And
That's
it's just not me. I am a t-shirt and shorts kind of guy.
Yeah, we won't talk about that for our honeymoon.
Well, but you know what? But I want to, and not to get on a tangent or share too far away from Disney, but just so people can understand what we're really talking about, we went on our honeymoon to St. Lucia, and we stayed at an all-inclusive resort, and they had fancy restaurants on site that you had to, again, they were included, but you had to make reservations for, even though they were included in our cost of the entire trip.
Right.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm packing a suitcase. It's going to have bathing suits, shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops. Sorry, Jared. That's it. Flip-flops all day long. We find out you have to have dress shoes and dress slacks for a man to go to these restaurants.
And I believe a collared shirt, too.
Yeah, and a collared shirt. So we ended up having to take a journey out into St. Lucia, which we were staying on the north end of the island, which is the very, very third world countryside. I would not recommend venturing out. I was pretty sure we were going to show up on news channels all over the U.S. being, abducted or something. But I had to go get shoes, slacks, and a collared shirt just so we could go to dinner because it just never even crossed my mind. When we were dating, and I took you to New York, and we went to a very fancy Asian restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And I wear rings. I wear rings on lots of my fingers. And Rhonda had gotten me a ring as a gift. And she had actually coordinated with the waitress to drop the ring in my wine glass. And we were pretty, new at dating, really, because we were traveling back and forth between Baltimore and Jacksonville.
What does this have to do with?
I'm just saying, this is our level of fanciness, okay?
Okay.
So, first of all, the lady brings out the bottle of wine and shows it to me, which I didn't know they did. I was used to drinking wine out of a box. So I'm like, why are you just showing me this bottle? Yes, that's what I ordered. So I have to, approve it. Then she proceeded, when she opened it, to pour, a slight taste. And I'm kind of just sitting there like, this cup is a lot bigger than that. Like, you can keep pouring. I was unaware I'm supposed to taste it and approve it. Like, I never even thought of it. So she ends up dropping the waitress ends up dropping the ring in the wine glass, and I'm about to just full on drink it. And I notice something is in the bottom of it. But I'm trying to impress Rhonda still, because again, we were fairly kind of new. And I'm looking in the bottom. She's starting to hint like, hey, there's something in your glass. I'm thinking, is this some other weird fancy wine tradition? And there's some sort of, ring around the cork, and they drop it in. I have no idea what's going on. So luckily she was on top of things. I probably would have drank it and choked or something. And then somebody else would have needed their, one suit that they have in their closet to come to my funeral. But that's how it was. And then it was our 10th anniversary then that we went to Epcot. And I thought I was going to be so slick. And really this was to be funny. I bought us matching rings, and one said his beauty and one said her beast. So we're at Epcot, and I'm thinking, I got to find a perfect time, just out of straight throwback humor. I'm going to drop her ring in a glass of wine. So we were there. Let's see, it would have been at that time, April would have been a flower and garden festival.
Yep.
So we're walking around, she gets a glass of wine.
We were in actually Italy.
Yeah, I keep looking for an opportunity. Finally, we have a photo pass photographers who took a picture of us in front of Japan. Spaceship Earth in the background. Perfect picture there along the water. So I think you handed me your glass maybe. I walk it over to set aside so we can get a picture, and I drop the ring in it. 30 minutes have gone by. You continually are drinking this wine with a ring in the bottom of it.
And usually I'm so...
Yeah, which is probably now oxidized. You're probably drinking, because these weren't expensive rings. It was more of the thought than it was the actual, gift.
And usually I'm so observant. I'll notice a tiny little fly in my drink or something.
And this was just over your head for 30 minutes straight.
Yes.
And I think, again, I finally had to be like, oh, what's in your drink?
You
Did something fall in there? So, again, that just goes to show. But you're right. For us, a luau as a date
fun.
is fun. Hoop-de-doo review as a date is fun.
Right.
We're just not dressy up people. And I think part of that...
But we'll do that one day and we'll report on it.
Oh, for sure. But I think part of that lends as well as to why we would go to Disney without children for our anniversary.
Right.
As opposed to just saying, you know what, we're going to go to, again, I can't even think of a fancy, what's it like a fancy city? Or even New York. Now, we went to New York back then when I lived in Baltimore.
But again, we had fun.
Right.
We walked around.
We had a blast.
It was freezing. It was so funny because I'll never forget. I guess because I didn't complain walking so much, which I guess that's why we have the love for Disney. But I didn't complain, and you were like, "You're the first girl that's never complained about walking." And we walked miles, and it was cold, and it was.
Well, to be fair, you were the first girl that I dated that didn't complain about everything. So,
well, thanks.
Well, and another thing, speaking of being maybe fancy or going to fancy cities, every year now on our anniversary, I take you to France. I take you to Italy. I usually will take you to Mexico. I like to take you to China, to Japan, to the United Kingdom. Like, that's pretty impressive. How many people can say that their husband takes them all those places in just one weekend?
Yeah.
Right? And we get to see a giant mouse. Not bad.
Yeah,
right?
but how often do we actually see him?
No, we really don't. We haven't met Mickey in a long time. Maybe that's something we should do.
Maybe we should do this trip.
Now,
I said maybe we should do it this trip.
Maybe we should. And we have done meet and greets with just the two of us before. Now, that was a date night that we went and did Anna and Elsa.
Oh, yeah.
It was just the two of us, which was fun and different.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just, I'm not saying that this is for everybody, that Disney is for everybody without kids. It is for us.
Yes.
And I've said it over and over and over again about our Disney firsts. We make it a point to always have Disney first, and we're going to have a ton coming up this trip. It's going to be our first Disney run. Now, you've done the online
the virtual ones.
Run Disney.
But this
is our actual first Disney run in a park. And originally, you and Michelle are going to run it. John's wife are going to run it together.
Yes.
I went ahead and just signed up, and you guys can leave me in your dust because I'm going to walk the thing. But I figured I was going to go and support you anyway, and I was going to be up
it's a
early.
5K.
Yeah, so I just thought I'll sign up. But again, our first Disney run. This is going to be our first time doing the luau. It's going to be our first time doing
dessert party.
This will be it's going to be your first time doing something that you don't know about yet, which will be cool. It's going to be your first time doing something you haven't done before, but you don't know about yet.
Why?
Well, because you're going to throw a little surprise in there, right? So it'll be our first and last time going to the 20th anniversary of Animal Kingdom, because that can never happen again. But
we'll go next year for the 21st.
Yeah,
and the next year.
We will be there. Yeah, I mean, this is something, and for us too, it becomes about tradition. And you can call us crazy, but this is our second home. This is our vacation home. Mm-hmm. We didn't buy a house at the beach or something. We just decided that kind of Disney would be the place that we would spend. And as a family, we all absolutely love it.
Right.
But I think it's so cool that as adults, we absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And I can see us being pass holders until I'm buried in that one suit I have. Hopefully I still fit in it. But, I can see us being pass holders until then. And I can see the kids being out of the house and you and I continually going to Disney. And hopefully we'll be that cute little old couple you always see on the bus.
They are cute.
And because you see them all the time.
You do.
My parents went to Disney for their honeymoon in 1974, I think. I think it was 1974. But that's where they went for their honeymoon. Again, a very different park there. You see every time you're there, people that have just, gotten married and they're there for their honeymoon. Or again, you see the old adorable couple,
that have been there.
That's riding the bus. Yep. And they've probably been going for,
they're
30,
celebrating
40
their
years himself.
50th
Exactly.
or 60th anniversary.
Yeah. I just, and this is one thing that I think Jared and I try and focus some on the Diz Dudes is proving that, look, man, this place, this place is not, it's not just for kids and it's not just for families. It is literally for everyone. Shoot, I go down by myself sometimes.
Yes.
That gets a little lonely,
That
I'm not going to lie. You think that's insane, don't you?
Jamie did it. I don't think I could.
You would be so lost without me there, though. You wouldn't even know, like.
Hey, I've been pretty good lately.
You've got your Disney knowledge is starting to really increase and blow up, and I've been impressed. But I really think it is something that everyone can enjoy. Again, whether you're just weird guy like me who's single rider everything, and it was. I think most people just thought it was odd that I stood in line that long to meet Tinkerbell, but.
You did
not.
not.
I didn't. I would not. I don't think I would do that. I would be tempted to, though. I'm going to do that one of my solo trips. I'm just going to wait in line for something like that.
And
just
everybody's going to
people
talk
do
about you,
looks.
just like we talk about everybody that does the same thing.
Well, is there anything else you want to add, or something you kind of think we missed about, why you would do that? And I mean, this whole episode, one, we have fun doing this, and I've really enjoyed having Rhonda on. Very excited to get John back. We're going to be, next 2 episodes will be about his family's trip on the Disney cruise, but due to scheduling, it's just been real tough for him and I to line up, especially with the whole spring break week. But I've loved having you on.
Thanks.
I know you're going to be a very
enjoyed
permanent fixture of this show. And whether you like it or not, you're going to be a permanent fixture of the vlogs that we're going to show over on the Capture the Magic YouTube channel. So you better get ready. Trust me, people are going to want to see you on a camera much more than they're going to want to see me. So I'm only having you on so that people will actually watch the videos, because they don't want to see me.
I see why I'm here.
Yep. It's one of the many reasons. But well, I guess that'll wrap it up for us. If you have any, questions or, your thoughts on doing Disney for something special like an anniversary or a romantic getaway, hit us up on social, Main ST Magic on Facebook and on Twitter. And you can always reach out to us, actually. I answer emails at magic@mainstmagic.com. So you can certainly hit me up anytime on there. Ask a question for myself, for Rhonda, for John. I'll forward them over to John. Because, again, he's got a lot more knowledge than I do as far as all things Disney go. So we can get him to answer your questions as well. But thank you again so much for listening. I'm going to say it. Go out, subscribe on iTunes. Please leave us a rating and review so we can help the show grow. That's all for now. We'll see you real soon.